decisions. That's what somebody who's a paladin is. They say this is what's right and this is what's wrong.
I'm just, in that case, I'm saying that that these people should all stay.
Alright, well, that's your opinion. So, I think we should
fuck
talk.
that.
We should talk.
You think they should stay. You think they should...
This isn't a democracy. You gotta come to a fucking unanimous decision.
No, actually, he's the leader, and he said he was going to right off rip, and we all agreed that he would always take input from all of us, and we'd try to make decisions together.
Fuck this.
Right? Isn't that what he said?
That's what we're doing, is discussing what...
I cannot imagine getting this like, I play D&D. Like, last session in D&D, Sarah's character, Alenia, had a certain opinion on something that happened that was opposed to probably what the professor, my character, thought. And the professor expressed that. But that's me in character expressing that. I, Hannah, do not give a shit. Like, I give a shit in the sense that it's like a game we've been playing for a long time and I care about it, but like... Yeah, you're gonna have characters with different opinions and stuff, and that's fine. That's kind of what makes the game fun, right?
Vision roll.
Oh God! Why? You're really gonna assault your DM, you asshole? What the hell? Lawful stupid is such an awful thing. Goddamn paladins.
Wow, really?
Dude, go.
Okay.
Mikey, dude.
Fucking
what are you
push me
fucking retarded?
Because you're always an asshole to me. Condescending.
No, we're not. Nobody's being an asshole. You're a fucking weirdo.
Oh man, that's just depressing. Oh God. No thank you.
Hey Rick, I'm running a bit late. I spent 15 minutes in line waiting for my coffee this morning, and of course they messed up my order and spelled my name wrong.
Morning, Sarah. I'm just on my way to the studio, but first gonna...
Is D&D cringe like a thing? Like, I know it's a thing, but I mean, like, are there videos out there of it? Because if so, we should definitely watch those. Oh God, cringy nice guy player feels entitled to girlfriend players take revenge. Oh God. Yeah, let's watch some D&D cringe. Crit Crab.
Hello everybody, Crit Crab here with another story. This one about, well, becoming that guy to stop that guy. If any of you are familiar with this meme right here, then you get the idea. Roll post. I have a friend who's like a sister to me. We've known each other since we were babies, and she's actually the one who introduced me to D&D. Her family ended up moving, but we still saw each other a few times a year for long weekends and stuff. During one of these weekends, we went to a local shop and decided to join an open game of D&D 5e. They were just starting a one-shot campaign, and we quickly rolled up our characters. My friend was an elven bard, and I was a half-orc barbarian. In the party, there was also an edgelord tiefling rogue, who will be the center of this story, and a dwarven ranger, who I'm assuming is his friend in real life based on how okay he was with the edgelord's antics. Almost immediately, the edgelord is being creepy towards my friend. Like, even during character creation, he was hitting on her and telling her how she's much hotter than all the other girls he's ever seen, and how he can't believe she's actually into D&D, and how much money
Yikes. Here's the thing. Do the people like this not understand that even if you, like, if you're attracted to someone, there's nothing wrong with being attracted to someone. You can't control who you're attracted to, right? Like, if you wind up in a situation and you're attracted to someone, that's one thing. But then acting on it in a creepy way, why? It's not going to facilitate getting any closer to that person because you just come off as a creep. And you're also gonna alienate the other people in your group. Why do this? Why do? It's disgusting.
you could make if she did porn. My friend dismissed him gently because she's a nice person who wants to have people like her and doesn't like to cause drama. To which he only said things like how I'm just jealous of what they have going on and that I'm just sick of being in the friend zone. After a few hours of questing to rid a town of a cult, we find ourselves in the tavern, as all adventuring parties do. The table seemed okay so far, other than when edgelord was hitting on my friend, but nothing too...
The Baz FZZ playbook to flirting.
too atrocious. Yet. I'm drinking with the dwarf and my friend is singing to earn our beer money. Out of nowhere, the edgelord approaches her from behind between songs. Edgelord. You're so sexy when you sing. I wonder how much sexier you'd be moaning my name. Friend.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Who talks like this? The Chosen False One. Thank you for following.
What? Edgelord, out of character, maintaining intense eye contact.
I can't even imagine. If this were a situation, I'm very fortunate in that the group that I play with is all not disgusting people, so that's good. But let's say some rando somehow got invited to the table and hit on anyone at the table in a disgusting way like that. I feel like every single person at the table would be like, what the fuck are you doing? I think Jake most of all, which is probably why he's the DM. He has a commanding presence. I'm trying to imagine this any situation like this, and I'm imagining Jake's reaction, and it's always hilarious regardless of the situation I'm thinking of. He wouldn't put up with that shit for a second, rightfully so. Get yourselves a DM who isn't gonna put up with that bullshit. MMO addicted. Just this, and please tell me it's fake. Jake would roast that dude. Oh, absolutely. He wouldn't only tell him he's a creep, but he'd be like, "You're disgusting.
No, God!
Get out."
No, God, please, no, 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 no.
Friend. I persuade her to let me fuck her stupid. DM. Roll persuasion. I've asked my friend for permission to write this. She had an abusive relationship that ended in a suicide attempt and a restraining order. I know this, so since she now has a lot to deal with mentally, I try to shut this shit down.
Honestly, F the DM for the second like a player says something like that, you go no. You go no. That's not happening at this table, and if you think it is, you need to leave. When I watch the Third Channel Awesome movie, I should watch it with Baha. If Baha's still listening, Baha, the chat has asked, so I guess you have to sit and watch a 3-hour terrible movie with me. Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. Jake would be like, "You okay there, buddy? Because that makes you a piece of shit." That does sound a lot like Jake. He would definitely shut it down and insult someone, rightfully so, with deadly precision. He's perfect at that shit. Oh yeah, Baja Blast agrees. Nice. MMO addicted. I'm out. If Baja's coming back up this weekend, then we will do the we'll do the Channel Awesome movie then.
Me to DM. Seriously, you're just going to let this happen? DM. Clearly wanting to see how this plays out. I'm not doing anything. It's the dice and players that decide everything.
Oh, shut up. You're the DM. It's your job to make sure this kind of stuff doesn't fly. It shouldn't in the first place if you're like making sure you don't have creeps in your group. But if this comes up, it is your job as the DM to shut that shit right down. Absolutely not.
And of course, my friends.
Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Same, really. I would do the same. I would absolutely kick that person out of my house. I'm usually the host and not the DM. Yeah, not cool.
Charisma-based bard rolls higher than the edgelord's rogue by like 10 after bonuses.
Yeah.
DM. The bard is mildly aroused by his words, but doesn't want to cause a scene. What the fuck? Edgelord. I guide her to a dark corner behind the bar out of eyesight of everyone else and pin her to the wall.
Bar?
DM. Roll strength. We were too lazy to look up the rules for grappling. Both my friend and edgelord had strength as a dump stat, but the rogue won the roll, celebrating and laughing and excitement from around the table. Except for us. Edgelord. I start to remove my pants and... He proceeds to very descriptively explain how he's about to rape my friend.
No. Nope. This shit doesn't belong in any tabletop situation. It's supposed to be like a fun game, and even if you're playing a game with like very serious, like, the things I do, like when the campaign I have DM'd thus far, I've only done like 4 sessions on the one I've actually DM'd, skews very comedic, right? Because that's just the kind of person I am. I can't take it seriously for any length of time. I'm sure there'll be serious moments, but most of all, it's just like funny.
There's nothing funny about
Jake's tends to have very serious moments. It's interspersed with our fun character interactions and a lot of really interesting stuff, but there are a lot of serious moments too. And some people, I'm sure, will do campaigns that are very, very serious in tone, and they take it all very seriously, and they're not doing all this levity stuff that a lot of other people do, and that's fine. But even in that situation, why? Why would you put some form of sexual assault in your game? Why? Why do it? And I'm not going to tell, like, if you have a group of people who legitimately all agree together, like this, there are themes of sexual assault in this campaign, is that okay with everyone? And if somehow you get a campaign of weirdos that are all like, yes, please, then I guess that's you guys' business. But letting this fly at any D&D table where it hasn't somehow magically unanimously been, like, okayed by everyone at the table is disgusting. And anyone with even a quarter of a brain cell should be able to recognize this. Capitalism. Like, beyond the fact that it's just gross, beyond the fact that it's a rude thing to do to someone else's character, you don't know what other people have actually been through in their life, and that can be incredibly triggering to them. Like, imagine someone who's actually been through some sort of assault, and then you are role-playing another assault against that person's character, who in some ways is an extension of them. It's just absolutely mind-blowingly disgusting. Daddy Sume, and I cast Fireball, or no, I cast Bees on Crotch. I should read Fatal? What's Fatal? Oh, is that the role-playing system that you roll for, like, the diameter and of certain things? And yeah, I've heard of it. It's disgusting.
My friend has more or less shut down.
If you're someone where everyone in your group wants to play that role-playing system and you all know going into it what it is, that's you guys' business. But in, like, a normal D&D 5e game, any D&D game, it should not come up.
She just pulls out her phone and starts scrolling, which gets a mean look from the DM. I interject out of character. Does my character see any of this? DM. Roll perception. Nat 20. DM. You see the bard and rogue go behind the bar to get freaky. The entire table, except for me and my friend, continue laughing at how he says freaky. Me. I go over to them and pin the rogue against the wall. Edgelord. Getting a little jealous over there, Orky Orkerson? He played a racist character a bit too well, and at some point even asked the DM what the world's version of the N-word for orcs was. DM. Roll strength with disadvantage since you're drunk. My friend. Wouldn't he get a constitution save to see if he was actually drunk before then? DM. Fine. Constitution save was over 20 after bonuses. Strength was over 20 as well. Half-orc barbarians are kinda made for this. DM. Defeated. You successfully throw him to the wall. Me to edgelord now. Are you cheating on me? Edgelord. What? Me. This whole time we've had a thing, and now you run off to be with her? Edgelord, both in character and out. Dude, I do not know what you're talking about. I'm definitely not gay.
This has to be fake. It has to be. I hope it's fake.
What about all those things you killed for me? They write...
It was just on Reddit. Anyone can post a thing on Reddit.
Epic love poems in my culture about that kind of stuff. There's a few exchanges where he tries to prove he's not gay, but my orc twists it into something a barbaric orc would think is cute. My friend. I turn and leave them to their lovers' quarrel. DM. I think that's enough. I thought it was just the dice and the players who decided. DM. Dumbfounded by me using his own words against him.
It's almost like he only cares when it's another man, who happens to be in an awkward situation they don't want, and they just want to harass the only woman in the group because she's a woman, and that's what they're for, I guess. I hope if this is a real story, the two people who are reasonable in this situation, of course, the woman who is unfortunately just being harassed, and the guy who's, like, aware that this is harassment and trying to stop it, I hope they left, and I hope they never played with this group again. That's awful.
Okay. Me. I take off my pants. I proceed to say everything edgelord just said about what his character was doing to my friends. My friend is giggling her ass off, and the dwarf and edgelord just leave the table in a sour mood. DM packs up as I'm still elaborating, and the game ends prematurely. Worth it because we would have left soon because of this incident anyway, but it was nice to turn the tables on that guy. TLDR, a player tried to rape my friend's character, and I raped him instead. And post.
There's always a bigger fish.
This should be, and probably is, common knowledge, but under normal circumstances, persuasion rolls were not designed for use on player characters. And even if they were, persuasion doesn't work as a sort of mind control to force other...
Yeah, no. Like, if I said, like in a campaign, I go to the big bad of the campaign, and they're an evil necromancer or something, let's say, and I go, you should stop doing bad things because bad is bad and good is good, and you should be good instead of bad. Stop doing the bad. And let's say I roll... where's my character sheet? Hold on, let me pull up roll 20. Roll 20. Let me see what my plus to, hold on. Let me make this so you can't see it for a second. Yeah. Just pulling up my character sheet. Okay. Here's my character. The third professor. Because they're like it's like the doctor from Doctor Who. They regenerate. Anyway, so I have a pretty good persuasion. I have a plus 11 to persuasion, right? So let's say I do absolutely the best I could do in a roll. Let's say I say to the big bad of the campaign, stop being evil. Let's say I even do an amazing speech. Jake rewards roleplay by, like, if your actual, like, words that you use to roleplay it are more convincing than the DC is lower. But let's say I say to this guy, stop being evil. Don't do a bad. And let's say I say it well, though. Not like that. I say it in a very good way. And let's say I nat 20, so I get a 31 on my persuasion check. And let's say on top of that, I have inspiration for some reason, and I get it up to 40 somehow, or 39, and then on top of that, I have a thing that's a lucky rabbit's face that I can roll an extra d4. Let's say I get above 40 on that roll, which, like, it is godly. If you rolled a 40-something on anything, you're reaching god levels in terms of your ability to do something in D&D. It would still be ridiculous if the big bad of the campaign said, okay, I'll stop doing evil. That's not how it works. Like, he's still a being with motivations of his own. And certainly, it's possible, if someone rolled that high and I was the DM, like, maybe it would come in down the line in the campaign, like, oh, they maybe changed something they're doing, or it's causing them to, like, I don't know, question some of their motivations. But at the end of the day, they're a person doing things for their own purpose, right? You can't convince people of something that they're absolutely sure of.
There's nothing funny about
it's not mind control, and it's very stupid to treat it as if it is. MMO addicted. Okay, people, someone just linked this to me on Discord, and I cannot even comprehend it at all. Someone explain. Okay, let me look. Someone posted this in a group DM, and I think everyone needs to see it. Meanwhile, in Heaven League, Quidditch. I've got a lot to learn from you, Ruth. You'll get the hang of it. Rest in power, Donald Trump. As far as I know, Donald Trump isn't dead, so that really doesn't make sense.
Other people to do your bidding. Even if you rolled above and beyond in nat 20 to try and convince some rational, ordinary dude to murder their family, they likely wouldn't because, you know, they're not fucking insane. And even if that was the case, the DM does not get to tell a player what their character feels or does unless they're under some sort of magical effect.
Yeah.
Anyways, reverse Uno cards aside, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories just like this one. Till next time.
Okay.